Oh man, the stream keep crashing. It's so irritating. I don't know what's wrong. Sorry for the crash again. Seems like this service is not so reliable. I may need to look into it. But anyway, thank you for coming back. And for those of you just joining, welcome. I'm almost done with my drawing today. Thank you for coming back. Sorry for the interruptions. Either there are a lot of people using online streaming service these days. Keep having hiccups. My apology. Yeah, I'm glad you're here again. So if you still have any questions, feel free to ask. Do I stream one drawing every day? I wish I can. That would be amazing if I can do that. But I do try to stream as much as I can with pockets of my time in between my projects and whatnot. Especially during this challenging time, I really want to try my best to impart some knowledge to you, to all of you who are interested. I mean, what's the better time for you to grow when you're now stuck at home? So I hope that you spend more time to grow with your craft, and hopefully by the time the economy get back to normal, you'll be ready to go. How many years have I been drawing? I would say 30 years. So I've been drawing since when I was 17 or 16 or 15. Well, around there. There was a question about my influence now. I wanted to ask as well, what are my main influence developing artist style? I would say that in general, anime, comics, and games. Those are my main influence. So manga, anime, comic, games. Yeah, I think just like most of you. Basically pop culture stuff. Will I go live tomorrow? I don't think so. Tomorrow is a Friday over here, and I have class tomorrow. And after that, I need to go home and serve my family. Yeah. So I won't be streaming tomorrow. So hopefully next week. Yeah, too many responsibilities and too little time. Now is the fun part, which is the eyes. If you screw it up, that's it. Game over. And it's 12 a.m. here in Singapore. And I'm still streaming, and I still have class tomorrow to teach, talking about commitment. Online class? No. It's now online because of the virus situations. So we moved some of the classes online, but it's by right it's an offline class that I meet my student face to face. And tomorrow I'm meeting a new bunch of them. Quite look forward to it. I don't see many Copic artists, so I'm happy. Really? There's so many people join with Copics. Now, if you look at like, I would say most of the comic artists I meet at conventions, they all join with Copics, or ink at least. Singapore is okay, not as crazy as some other countries, but still we are taking a lot of precautions. You just can't afford to take the risk. In Hong Kong, the virus break records every day. Really? Yeah. Although Hong Kong is quite manageable. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I love working on my comic covers. It's really fun. Hi, follow me. Wow, okay. Follow me. You don't just go into people's stream and say follow me. You know. At least I don't think that's how usually people follow. What's my favorite variant cover of your own? My own store variant? I think the recent Joker cover with the Harley Quinn, I thought I really love it. I always wanted to take a picture of the relationship of Joker and Harley, like the crazy relationship. I want to make them look really like psychos, like with some mental illness or something, or partner in crime. That kind of look. So I think the Joker one was quite nicely done, at least in my opinion. Have you ever watched JoJo Bizarre Adventure? Of course, I do. Yeah, I read the manga. I was not quite into the anime, but I read the manga. I thought that count. Where can you buy my originals? Usually after I finish my drawing, I'll post it up to myartjump.com, and then from there you can either buy it, or some of them are go with auction, so you can bid for it. How do I improve as an artist, and how do I and did I focus on the fundamentals? Yes, I did spend a lot of time on my fundamentals, but you need to understand, guys, you want to improve. There are two areas you need to really pay attention to. It's not just about fundamentals, although it's important, but as we all know that drawing fundamentals or learning fundamentals like draw bones, muscles, and perspective, those are really dry stuff, like really, really dry, that by the time you get good at those things, you may already lose your passion to draw. So what I do recommend is to take care of both areas, your passion and the foundations, which means that you should always draw something that you love. For example, some of you like to draw furry, some of you like to draw yaoi stuff, or some of you like to just draw fan art, some like to draw your own flowers and dogs and cats. Yeah, continue to draw those things. That will keep your passion going, but at the same time spend at least half of your time learning the fundamentals, and you can't do either or, you must do both at the same time. So your foundation will help to improve what you are passionate to draw. Yeah. So remember that. Will you please name the fundamentals of art? Of course, you are talking about anatomy, you talk about lights and colors, you talk about perspective, you talk about compositions, and you are talking about aesthetics. So those are the foundations of art. Okay, let me put a little bit of effects around it. You miss my character Pepper? Yeah, I miss her too. I wish I have more time to draw her. It's so difficult to find time to draw these days. So many commitments, projects and stuff. What paper do I use for my drawing? As I say that it's a special paper that was it special, but a paper that I get locally in a stationery store. It's some kind of cooked paper for inkjet printer or laser printer. Yeah, it's not meant for Copic though. But when I try Copics and ink on it, it works so well. I fell in love with it, so now I recommend it to all my friends around me. I like this. This is called the fluorescent yellow orange, so it really make the image glow because there's some luminous ink on it. So it looks pretty. So let me put some stars. Magical girl must have some magical stars. What do I think about composition? What do I think? I think it's extremely important, but you learn composition the best with photography. At least that's my opinion, because in photography, your job is to frame your subject within a rectangle. So what do you leave it out? What do you include? Those are the decisions that you have to make on the spot. So training yourself up with photography will really help you with your fundamentals in composition. And learn how other photographers composite the photos will really, really help. Wow, glowing. I like it. So magical. I don't think you can see much because it's really, really bright. Yeah, but yeah, glowing. Can you tell me which brush am I using for paint the shadow? Okay, let me run through it again in case some of you missed out just now. So I have basically three kind of brushes. This one is called Copic Gasson Fude brush pen, which I used to ink the smaller parts, but like the eyes and eyelashes. Then I have a Pentel brush pen that I used to ink bigger areas. Then I have the Pentel brush pen gray to give a gray tone for some of these areas. So basically these three for brush pen, and then I will have multi-liner like Faber-Castell Pit Artist pen. Those are multi-liners. Okay. I think she looks quite alright. Do you think it's necessary to learn ZBrush to work in character designs? Well, it's definitely a bonus. Nowadays, many concept development team, they do prefer to see something in three-dimensional form. So having ZBrush will allow you to present your ideas after the very first initial concept sketch. If you can do it up in ZBrush, that will help to sell your idea much better because it's so tangible, so believable. Especially when you present to people that who do not have well-trained eyes, like artists, like you are doing it to the investors. It's easier to sell the idea when you have a three-dimensional render, 3D render. So it's definitely a skill set, especially now with the advancement of 3D printing. Knowing 3D modeling will really help you in increasing your chance of getting jobs. Are Copics my favorite markers? I think so, yeah. Give us go advice about coloring. Give you go advice. How am I going to give you go advice about coloring? What's a go advice? Oh well, I can give you one tip when it comes to handling lights. Do not look at shadows as an object, because shadow is basically the absence of light. So when you paint shadow, you are not adding shadow to the object. You are removing light in those areas. So technically, if the shadow is black, that means there's no light on it. So when the shadow is not black, that means some light has gotten into it. So when you paint, you think about it as removing light from those areas instead of thinking about it as adding shadow like a thing. That is my hopefully golden enough advice. Yeah. Okay, let me sign it and be done with it. Okay, here I am done with my drawing. Let's put a bit of a close-up. There's a bit of a not too bad, right? All right. Maybe I can take some moment to answer some more questions before I end today's stream. Especially for those of you who just joined in, it seems like someone raided my stream on Twitch. Where do you put your drawing when you are done? Usually I put it in the folder, just a simple A4 size folder. So that should be, oops, that should be, so things like that. So it's a little folder. Yeah, this is an ink drawing of poison ivy. I haven't posted yet. This using the watercolor ink. All right. Let me answer a few more questions. Do I use references? Of course, everybody use reference. So that's for sure. You either reference from what you see or reference from what you have in your mind. You basically can't draw what you do not know. So the reason why you can draw something, because you've seen it and you've interpreted it so that you can mix and match and create something from your imaginations. So you have to see something in order to build something first. All right. How do you find the balance of the amount of shade on flash? It really depends on the local colors. It means the actual color of the objects. So darker colors usually we tend to have a lot more gray and shadow areas, mainly because you are represent the lighting in a simple values like gray values and black values. So what I was doing, pretty much like animate cell shading kind of look. So you have to cut certain spot to represent certain values. So that is roughly what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Where do you get post reference? From my head, usually. Usually I have a mental model, means of something that I have in mind. Say, oh, I want her to do certain things. So I have her spinning around, make different poses in my head until I find a pose that I like it. Then I'll switch my mind to look at it from different camera angle with that pose and find the right angle to represent it. Once I like it, then I start sketching it out. So before I actually sketch it on the paper, the sketch is already done in my head, at least the rough one. How long have I been drawing? I've been drawing for the past 30 years. I draw since I was 15 or 16. Yeah, I started to draw seriously. Yeah. How do you train translating things to paper from the model? Yes, basically just practice. For example, if I ask you to draw a box in three-dimensional form, a 3D box on paper, I think most of you would not have problem doing that. You can even spin the box around and draw it, right? Means you can imagine the box in your head and then you start drawing it on the paper. Why? Because you are able to visualize it. So the more you train those, the more complexity you start to add in those so-called your mental models and then apply to your drawings, you'll get better. That's how you do it. I doubt any one of you need to use a real object reference for cube, right? For block. You don't, because you can imagine it. That means you have some kind of mental model in your head. You just need to make it better. Yeah. Oh, Kim Jong Ki is a different ball game. Kim Jong Ki can visualize everything in every angle, in every certain situation. Yeah. Mine is a noob version of that. Yeah. All right, so that will be the end of my live stream. I thank you for watching it, and I thank you from Twitch, from Instagram, and from uh, YouTube and Twitter. I hope you enjoy the stream and learn something from it. I really hope to spend more time with all of you, um, and hope that will motivate you to learn things or two and keep drawing, especially in this time of confinement, I would say. Yeah, it's the best time to grow. So keep drawing and draw what you love and love what you draw. So I see you around. See you next time. Bye bye.